Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Don't forget to leave a like. It is a free and easy way to support the channel. This is kind of becoming, and I think it's been for a while, you either get it or you don't kind of things, or even sometimes you don't want to get it. A number of years ago, I think the first time that we heard that BlackRock was actually in the cryptocurrency space was around 2017. I know it seems like it's 2021, 2022. Nope. In 2017, after I had just started the other channel, The Modern Investor, there was a lot of news popping up and speculation that a lot of larger companies were getting into the space. I think the first company who ever got into the space was Overstock. And then we started hearing that apparently, there were other banks and institutions and companies who were also joining in. We heard rumors about Amazon. There was also rumors about Apple. And I will say, not even taking a step back, it's abundantly clear. It is abundantly clear that Apple, Amazon, Google, you name it, that they're all holding Bitcoin. The problem with a lot of the cryptocurrency space, and I think that's the mentality of people who aren't into finance or into money, or really understand how big money moves around and how big money talks, is that the assumption is if you hear a company get onto the stage and say, hey, we are now buying Bitcoin, that then becomes the moment where the public goes, they're buying Bitcoin, and everyone kind of clamors completely around it and talks about how excited they are about this new company getting into it. As opposed to understanding that the larger companies that we see getting into the space or that have already been into the space, they've been buying, first of all, they've been researching for a number of years. You have to understand the actual risk of getting into a brand new asset class or anything that your clients don't know about, don't want you to get into, or that might cause them to lose money. Whenever you see these companies jump into the space, similar to the news that we got in 2017 about BlackRock, is that they've been researching for a while, and the numbers that we heard is that a lot of these companies have been researching the space and have been in the space since around 2014. You understand that? It's literally a decade that they've actually been in this space researching. This is why a lot of times when people, once again, I have to keep using the BlackRock thing because it's the largest name in the room. When you hear that BlackRock is getting into Bitcoin and then Bitcoin ETFs, people assume that in January of 2024, that's where it all began for BlackRock. Like that was their first foray into the space, as opposed to thinking and understanding that they were probably buying and trading it and holding it for a very long time. It's similar to the news that we got years ago. Remember when Elon Musk first announced that he was getting into Bitcoin, or he liked Bitcoin, or blah, 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 blah. And then we found out that Tesla owned Bitcoin. The company had Bitcoin, if you will. And then at some point, we heard that they had sold some of their coins. For those of you who weren't here, the reason why they sold their Bitcoin was that they wanted to see if the market had enough liquidity. They wanted to see if they sold, would the market crash? Is there enough liquid money in this market to be able to cushion any selling that might actually be done? And then when that happened, a lot of people didn't really understand why they were doing it. People assume, I remember the video, people being like, Tesla shouldn't have sold, they're going to lose money. And I'm like, one, that's not how money works. You assume because you heard these people stand up and say, yeah, we sold some, that they didn't buy some more somewhere else. You didn't know that Tesla owned Bitcoin until they said Tesla owns Bitcoin. You didn't know that any of these celebrities, these people, these companies said it until they said it out loud. They've been holding it for a number of years, and this is what I think a lot of my annoyances with this space. This is why I said, you either get it or you don't. If we can hear on a daily basis, this isn't an every other daily, this isn't a once a weekly or bi-weekly kind of thing. Daily, that these companies are in the space, that this money's moving into the markets. When you see the negative, weird news, for those of you who weren't here, if we have news that $1.6 billion inflowed into the Bitcoin ETFs, and then the next day there was an outflow of $86 million, the news becomes negative. A lot of people stop buying. They stop what they were doing because they're so afraid or don't understand. Like, you don't, though the $86 million outflow does not mitigate or negate or stop the $1 billion inflow from the day before. Big money is here, and they know that they can trick you very easily to make sure that you leave the market. They don't want you in the market. This is usually very difficult for people to hear and to understand. And I know it'll sound basic, but it's not. We are not supposed to be in this market. You are not supposed to be here. Big money is literally not meant for us. We are meant to be consumers and consume. We're supposed to work all day, go get our paycheck, go to the store and consume stuff, not have any money at the end of the month, and then have to repeat and do the exact same thing over again. This is literally how the market works. And I know, once again, you'll hear it and you won't really get it until one day you're trying to sleep and then you really understand exactly everything that's actually taking place. And it'll hit you really hard because you'll understand that since birth, you weren't supposed to have money. And any money that you might have right now, anything that you're saving, any assets that you might actually, this is magical in a way that you were able to actually save that amount of money when the system is completely against you. We're getting a bit off track, but it's this kind of thing. So when I saw this news, and I say this from the context of, I'm kind of done with helping friends and or otherwise get into crypto. It's been a very long journey that I've had, and as I've matured and gotten older, I kind of lack the patience anymore of being able to sit with someone, holding their hand and being like, I got you. I'm going to walk you through this every single step of the way. There was someone who I knew years ago, won't say her name obviously, but when I first started buying like really cheap property, like studios and stuff like that, I knew this person. She was so, it's like she kept on saying, blah, 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 help me. And I was like, okay, cool. And I even remembered at this point, for those of you who want to know like the alternate universe TMI, I was getting ready. I was thinking about becoming like a real estate agent or being somewhere in that world because they make really good commissions. And I was like, if I can meet more people and know more people and have more connections, I could also accumulate real estate a lot quicker as well. So she was even asking me like all these things or whatever. And I told her, I was like, all right, I don't have a fee, but I have a fee. And right now I'm going to make it 0 so that I can help you actually get into this market. I worked with her for 4 years. Guess how many properties she bought? 0. She saw prices going up in the market. She saw the supply also decreasing. And there was nothing in her head that told her to act now. There was nothing that said I should accumulate, I should buy because the value is going to keep going up. We went to viewings. Like, I can't begin to explain everything that we did together. And it's the same exact thing with crypto and also like investing kind of in general. I tell people that I'm into buying and collecting art. Usually, like, some people will go, okay. And then they want to learn about it. But then I learn later on that these people thought I was accumulating. I'm not joking. This is a real thing. I've been collecting art since 2016. Somebody found out around 2020, 2021. And at 2022, somebody was having a discussion with me and they said, so what do you, where do you, what do you do with your art? And I explained to them my process and they were like, but these are posters from IKEA. And I was like, what? And they were like, well, yeah, I mean, I assume like that was the art that you were buying. It was a complete disconnect. I couldn't have simply been smart enough to actually know anything about Banksy or Kusama or anyone else. Like, I simply, like, you understand that? How much patience I have for people and for things that someone said to my face. They thought that the last couple of years I was investing in IKEA posters. It doesn't even make me angry. It makes me sad for how stupid they are. And I mean that completely to a T. So when I tell people about crypto, when I tell them what's going on and this constant misbelief or disbelief or unbelief, they all apply. Some of those aren't words. It really annoys the freaking crap out of me. This is a completely different video than I was actually planning on making. When you hear that this money is in the market and you see that the prices go down, because we've had multiple days, of course, things don't go up forever. There's always like going to be like a bit of a pullback. We're going to have some days where prices go down by 3, 4, 5%. Prices might rise the next week by 80%, but then you still have a couple of days where prices do dip down a tiny bit. And whenever we have these dips, we keep getting news. We keep getting news over and over and over and over and over and over and over that the only people who are selling are retail. Everyday normal people who get into the market, the people who would be benefiting the most from actually being in the cryptocurrency market, they get afraid. Some people have liquidated, like you can see it on like the metrics and the actual other news articles and stuff that come out from these analytical companies. Prices dip and people get terrified and they sell everything because they think that it's the end, like the sky is falling, like we need to get out of here as quick as humanly possible. We have so many companies and so many countries who are getting into this space. And I'm kind of at like the point where, no, I think I'm like, I'm kind of like right there where I just don't, if you don't listen to my words, it's totally fine. I said that before in a video. I think it was something like 2, maybe 3 years ago. And somebody left me a comment. You're really rude. I don't like the things you say or how you're talking to people. And I'm like, because I'm not here to baby you. I cannot hold your hand the entire way. I can't tell you when prices go down, like, don't be afraid. Please stop being scared. Remember I told you I have a friend. His father got into the market a couple of years ago. I think he put maybe like several hundred into the market. I mean, like $400, $500. But he was checking it every hour. And at some point, prices dipped to like 5%. My friend's used to it. He's been in the market for a while. Prices dipped, and he messaged my friend, should I sell? Should I sell? And he sent us like a screenshot of it in the actual group chat. So we were laughing about it, but then I was like, you know how sad that is? Like that you did nothing to research. You did nothing to look inside of it. You saw a news article. You saw something on TV. You remember your son saying that he was into something years ago that didn't interest you. You figured out later on as you're getting older that you can make money. So let me go use my son to get this information. And instead of learning anymore when the prices dip down a bit, you're terrified. So you keep dragging this information out of your son over and over and over as opposed to trying to learn the market yourself. It's this really weird, it's a loop. And it'll probably never end. So a lot of times when I say that you're here early, understand that you actually are here early. When I say that you are lucky to be in this market and understand, market dynamics, and it's almost like a little bit of a blessing, a tiny little bit of a blessing. When prices drop and you don't get scared anymore. Remember when you first got into this market and prices would drop and you would you freak out? But now when prices drop, people are like, buying opportunity. There's more that I can get. And then prices go back up and then you made a huge amount of money. Not at all, once again, not at all where I saw this video going. But it's just this annoyance that I have for people who are in the market or people who are thinking about being in the market and all this other stuff. Like, you don't pay attention to the news. You don't pay attention to the stuff that happens every single freaking day in this market. Every day. Think about it, every single day. You can scroll through my videos. Every single day. It's constantly in the news. And now we're getting news that this is like this is it. Like, this is the moment that we've actually all been waiting for. This is like when we hear about countries like accumulating tons of Bitcoin, like we're entering hyper Bitcoinization, and the retail wallets continue to sell. And these coins go into the hands of BlackRock and the other ETF issuers and these other countries who are entering the space and these other states and counties who are also entering the space over and over and over. And it's just like, you don't want money. Like, you don't want to have money. I told you that this was 2 weeks ago, something like that. I told you, I think that there are people who like the situation that they're in. I think there's really a thing where people want to pretend that they're trying to better themselves so that when they lose, and they fall down, they can tell people, yeah, that was a scam, man. That was awful. That was terrible. And it's like, what did you... Last point, and this is for reference. You can hear every single day about Bitcoin adoption. Think of everything. I don't even have to repeat everything. This is every 2 hours. We get news about Bitcoin, buying Bitcoin, ETF Bitcoin, blah, 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 over and over and over. You get news about Ethereum, what Ethereum's doing. You get news, and this is one of the best ones because I've seen so many jealous people. You get news about what Ripple's doing, what XRP's doing, how many central banks that they're working with. Got those three, right? The thing that won't stop appearing on Twitter and in the news and from CoffeeZilla, is it CoffeeZilla, all these people, is that huck to our girl. When I heard that this coin was coming out, I was like, no one's going to fall for this, right? Like, that's just completely impossible. People aren't that. Wait. The coin launched, and what was it? I think 3 or 4 hours later, it is alleged that the people behind the project sold. I don't know. I haven't dug any deeper. I literally don't care. And apparently they bagged around $50 million in profit, allegedly, from the news that I've been seeing and I've been getting. And then the anger rose very rapidly on Twitter and on social media and online. Everyone was like, how could she do that? Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. You walked directly into a wall and then tried to bite through the bricks. You heard that this girl who got famous for saying a couple of words and has a podcast, you put your money into that instead of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. And then when it allegedly got rugged, you were surprised. You can hear this news. You can be in this market and still try and make sure that you eat mud every single day. I think that there are really people who don't want to make it. If any of you are surprised about what happened to that project, I mean, like, what's the fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, you knew it was going to be a rug. Like, it doesn't, I don't know what people want. And I don't know what they expect from life either. So keep doing what you're doing. Like, really, like, keep your head down, stay focused, invest in what you love or what what you keep seeing in the news over and over, and it's going to pay off. But like I said before as well, you are going to have a lot of friends in the future who have nothing, who have no money, who have no prospects, who have no investments, who you talk to all the time and you tell them to get into this stuff. But in 10 years, that's something that I had to teach one of my other friends. He got into crypto a while ago and also other investments. And I told him, I said, you're going to see the progression. You can't think of it at the time. You'll see the progression between you and your friends over the next 10 years. And when you have it and they don't, and when you have more and they have less, people will begin to comment and make jokes and little sly remarks on the side. And I'm just joking. When you go on vacation and they don't. When you don't have to go to work and they don't. When you are buying things that you want and they can't do it. They don't have the money and you're making passive income from stuff. You'll notice the difference. I'm telling you, over the next 10 years, you will see quite dramatically. And these are the same friends who you told about crypto. These are the same people who you told about investing, the same people you sent links to, you sent articles to. When you told them these people were getting into the market, this was happening. I remember sending an article to someone and he responded back with a thumbs up. I will never, this was like 4 years ago, something like that. And he's now messaging me like it's that time of cycle where people like send you like memes and stuff like that about crypto and they go, yeah, I wish I got into crypto years ago. And I'm like, yeah, well, you didn't. You can still get in right now. Nah, it's not for me. It's not for me. So when Bitcoin goes up to $1 million, these people are going to have some of the most difficult times ever. Economically, mentally, stress-wise. I don't know what else to say. Like, I am confusion when it comes to like all of this stuff in this market. So for those of you who are looking to make it, who are looking to retire early, who are looking to travel all the time whenever you want, right here, me and you are right here. To everyone else, I hope you enjoy the ride. I hope you get something from it eventually at some point. You're not going to hold on to this market. You're going to sell your coins. You're going to get scared. You're going to panic. You're not going to have a lot. I just saw, oh my gosh, these things I keep seeing it over and over. The people who are planning on buying Lambos and buying all these cars, I wish you, really, like the literal best of luck. Like, I hope life is only good to you when you don't have any money. I'm not even joking. You wouldn't believe the amount of times I've tried to help people, in like personal people in my life, and no one takes any free advice. I will go with you to the apartment viewing. I will help you look at the windows and the walls and like tell you exactly what I know. I'll tell you everything. Take none of the advice. Prices go up too high. These people end up being depressed. Not everybody will make it to the end of the race. I hope that you've all enjoyed something. Hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.